Men and Foundry women. My name is Siddharth and I will be your MC for the evening. It gives me immense pleasure in interacting with you all on the occasion of IAF Southern Region and IAF Chennai Chapter's 73rd National Foundry Day celebrations here at Hablis Hotel, Gindi, Chennai. To begin our celebrations, we would like to first invite our dignitaries on stage. We request our organizing committee chairman, past chairman Chennai chapter, Mr. K. Varadarajan, Vice President Operations Nelcast Limited, to accompany our chief guest for the evening, Mr. D. Sridharan, Heavy Vehicle Business Unit, Brakes India Private Limited, onto the dais. We now request our Southern Region Vice Chairman, Mr. D.G. Benagappa, and IAF Chennai Chapter Chairman, Mr. V.K. Raman, to jointly accompany our guest of honor, Mr. D.S. Chandrasekhar, President-elect IAF, Vice Chairman Shantala Spirocast Private Limited, onto the stage, please. May we now request our IAF Chennai Chapter Honorary Secretary, Mr. P. Sendil Kumar, to accompany our IAF Southern Region Secretary, Mr. R. Palani Murugan, onto the stage. IAF Chennai Chapter has always been Tamil patriots. Hence, we start all our events with the blessing of the Almighty. And we would like to start our 73rd National Foundry Day celebrations with the Tamil Thai Valthu. Request the gathering to rise. Next, as per our Tamil tradition, lighting the Kuttu Vilakku is an auspicious way of beginning our functions. We now request our dignitaries on the dais and our senior members to light the Kuttu Vilakku and start up the event in a grand manner. Thank you, gentlemen. We now welcome our IAF Southern Region Vice Chairman, Mr. D.G. Benagappa, to deliver the welcome address.
Good evening, everybody. I think you had a beautiful technical session since morning. There were about 9 sessions. I think it was all addressing the foundry issues. I think everybody enjoyed it. I hope everybody. Yes. Thank you. So my part of work is to welcome you all for the 73rd National Foundry Day celebration done by the Chennai chapter. First of all, I would like to welcome the chief guest of the day, Mr. D. Sridharan sir, President Heavy Vehicle Business Unit, Brakes India Limited. We welcome you, sir. Today's guest of honor, Mr. D.S. Chandrasekhar, President-elect IAF and the Vice Chairman of Shantala Sparrowcast Pvt Ltd, Shimoga. Sir, we welcome you for the program, sir. I also welcome K. Varatharajan, sir, Chairman of the Organizing Committee of today's program. Welcome you, sir. I would like to welcome Palli Murugan, sir, Secretary, IAF Southern Region, for the program. Also welcome V.K. Ramanan sir, Chairman, Chennai chapter. P. Senthil Kumar, Honorable Secretary, Chennai chapter. And all past presidents, also delegates and the guests who are attending this program. Welcome you all. Thanks for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Benikappa sir, for the lovely start. We've had a very eventful day today on the occasion of the 73rd NFD celebration. We now request our organizing committee chairman and past chairman, Chennai chapter, Mr. K. Varatharajan, to debrief us about this year's NFD celebration.
Dear fellow Foundrymen, supplier partners, past national presidents, past SR, chairman, secretaries and council members, past Chennai chapter secretaries, chairman, secretaries and council members, present council of Southern Region and Chennai chapter, chairman, secretary, council members of the both, and today's evening chief guest, Mr. Sridharan, President Brakes India Heavy Vehicles Business Unit, and the guest of honor, Mr. Chandrasekhar, President-elect and the Vice Chairman of the Sandral Sparrowcast. Ladies and gentlemen and cute children, happy evening, and once again welcome you all to the 73rd National Foundry Day celebration of the Chennai chapter along with the Southern Region. As usual, Chennai chapter every year raising the bar for the whatever the programs or events they are conducting. This year also, this 73rd National Foundry Day celebrations, we had a 3 days program. The first one is particularly we have almost 12 review meetings. We started in the month of June 2023. Before going to GIFA, we started, and then a lot of works have been done by the team. And all the 12 meetings have been physical meetings, though the council members and chairman insisted for the online meetings, but I insisted them to come over because in a day, I think most of you appreciate that in front of the system we are sitting almost 4 hours. We are attending the meeting through Teams with all the customers or suppliers, whatever it may be. So that is the reason I wanted them to be physically present, and we had the review meetings, all physical meetings only. So sometimes I was hard and made a lot of hardship to them to become this unit mega success. And first one is the industrial visit. We visited the Batter India, one of the windmill parts production unit. It's a multinational company. It's located nearby Peripalayam. So many of the people, because we are unable to give the opportunity to the people, they limited only 15 people per batch. So in 2 batches, the team from Chennai chapter as well as from the SR Council have visited, and the feedback from them is the one of the best foundry, and many of us can visit that foundry, and also they gave the management has gave the opportunity for us to another 1 or 2 batches. Already SR Secretary has fixed 1 more because that MNC, it's a very good foundry and a lot of handling system is good. Today morning I received from the feedback from one of the delegate. So we'd like to go 1 more or 2 set of people can go and visit, and we'll from the council Chennai chapter we can honor that people can join for the visits also further. After that, the 5th August we had the Kaizen competition. Before starting that, I thank Madras Engineering Industries, particularly Foundry Region. Continuously 8th year they are supporting this program, Kaizen competition. We started with in the year 2016 only for the ferrous category of foundries. Now we have moved to ferrous as well as non-ferrous. For both they started sponsoring this event. And this year also almost 18 to 19 teams have participated, almost in both the categories, paras and non-paras. The winners and runners of trophy will be given after the senior jury member, Mr. K. Dayalan, will brief the gathering how the Kaizen competition was held. After that, today morning we had the technical seminar on the theme of the chapter Motivate, Innovate and Integral to Excel. So this team is highly apt for the current situation. After the pandemic, a lot of ups and downs in the industries we are seeing, and without motivation we can't do anything. And also innovation is too much required to break through or to overcome the competitions in the market. So Chennai chapter has adopted this theme as the year theme. So on the theme, we had 8 speakers from the morning to evening, and we start with one, Mr. Morgan Kancharla is a chief tech design officer from Tata Consultancy. He gave a brief thought about why innovation is needed, how the innovations can be done through design changes, design improvements, those kind of things he has explained to the gathering. I think it was well appreciated. After that, from Madras Engineering, Mr. A. Balaji, General Manager Projects from Brakes India, has shared his views on the energy efficiency in the foundry industries. A lot of improvements done by the foundry industry is showcased to the entire gathering. I think wherever possible they introduce the VFDs, and a lot of energy saving conservation measures they introduced in their foundry. That has been showcased by them. And also I think Indototam representative also here, Mr. Ravi Kumar is here. He is telling per ton of liquid metal we can do around 560 units per ton of liquid metal. That Brakes India is doing that. So similarly, other foundries can learn from the today's knowledge sharing. From that, definitely foundry fraternity can be benefited. After that, Mr. A. Vinayak Gote, from Vice President Business Development from the Forest Polymers, he has briefed about the casting defects because of the core and other casting defects which can be eliminated or reduced through the various innovative coatings and innovative processes. Particularly, he has briefly explained about the weaning defect in the castings, that is for BS6 requirements. That is one of the challenge the foundries which face the weaning defect. After that, Mr. Pokola Srikanth, General Manager Project Planning from Ashok Leyland, he has shared his experience in the brownfield foundry. The innovations can be done in that foundry also. Particularly the pick and place sleeves in the automated molding line to save the cycle time, which was the eye opener for the foundry people to think about that such kind of automation is possible in the brownfield foundry also. And after that, Mr. A.K. Vinayak, Technical Director from Goel Technocom, he has shared his experience and knowledge about the sand additives, particularly their product P-Bond. It's an innovative solution for today's foundry. Almost all the customers now demanding for the surface finish requirements, particularly tractor products. Everything is open in a tractor, so many of the tractor customers are demanding for the better surface finish or the good surface finish. So that material definitely is helping the foundry industries, and he has shown the before and after the introduction of that material in many of the foundries, and also the wet tensile strength and the green compression strength and also dry compression strength. And that also the another information is because of this improvement in the strength, they are able to reduce the casting weight by 1% average. So that is a big good news for the foundry industries. After that, Mr. T.S. Rao from Madras Engineering, Chief Operating Officer, he has shared the best practices in his foundry. So many of the methoding improvement, design improvements, product redesign, those kind of things he has explained to the entire gathering. I think that is also an eye opener for the people to reduce the defects and improve the operational efficiency and the operational profit of the foundry industry. After that, Mr. Veera Vignesh, Manager Application from Snamalais, explained about the innovations why innovation is needed and how to do that. So that he has explained. Apart from the products, he has came and explained to the entire gathering about the innovations, and also Dr. Shivapriya Chellappa also explained about the innovations and the business development, how the innovations have been implemented in the many of the startup units, and also the requirements of the innovations. And finally, Mr. A.T. Prabhakar from the Southern Alloy Casting, SAC engine components, he has briefed about the foundry or the SAN parameters which is required to produce the castings, and also the methodings what in their industries they are doing to the gathering. So almost all the 8 papers are the lot of takeaways from the technical sessions. Already Vice Chairman of the SR has asked about the technical sessions. Every one of you told us we have enjoyed. So definitely a lot of takeaways in the technical sessions. I'm sure I also learned today a lot of things, particularly from the Breaks India, the energy efficient methods. I also started doing many things, but some of things are the eye opener for me also, a lot of learnings. And finally, I thank the council, Chennai Chapter Council Chairman, Mr. V.K. Raman, to gave me the opportunity to do this organizing committee role. So I thank him, and thanks for the opportunity.
For the detailed summary, we now request Mr. V.P. Prem Kumar, IAF National Council Member, to introduce our chief guest, Mr. D. Sridharan, Heavy Vehicle Business Unit, Brakes India Private Limited, to the gathering.
President-elect Mr. Chandrasekhar, Mr. Sridharan, President HVBU, other dignitaries on the dais, past presidents, past chairmen, present chairmen, and office bearers of the various councils. I have a privilege in introducing Mr. Sridhar. Sir, one thing is, you readily accepted my invitation to be the chief guest. உங்க பேர் போட்ட உடனே இந்த ஜெயிலரில் எப்படி 450 crores ரஜினிகாந்த் பேர் வந்த உடனே we have put around 140 delegates has come, and we have collected around 20 lakhs of money just putting your name. So I just wanted to read his profile. Mr. Sridharan has done his BE Honours in Mechanical Engineering from CIT, Coimbatore, he is from Coimbatore. And in 1983 completed PG Diploma in Lilac Institute of Business Administration in Chennai. In 1991, joined Royal Enfield after graduation of BE and worked for about 3.5 years as an engineer, and he worked in HAL for short span. Then he joined Brakes India as an engineer in 1987. Process planning method, various departments like process planning methods, and moved to various functions like manufacturing system and sourcing, and career span of more than 35 years in Brakes India. He has headed various functions like operations, sourcing, and supply chain and manufacturing system engineering, part of various initiatives like TPM, lean manufacturing, involved in implementation of the same in Brakes India. He set up many greenfield plants pan-India for Brakes India. Currently, he is the president and head of Heavy Vehicles Business Unit of Brakes India, catering of commercial vehicles, tractors, and off-highway segment. Recently, he is also venturing about the brake disc, for introducing the brake disc in the commercial buses. I think he will be succeeding it in another 2 years. Mr. Sridharan sir, I can tell you that most of the buses in India will have a brake disc. Disc brakes given by Mr. Sridhar of Brakes India. Thank you very much.
Sir, we would like you to address the gathering.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a very great honor for me to be part of the 73rd Foundry Day function, and also to be present in the August gathering. So when I asked Mr. Varadarajan what is that I need to speak, he said whatever you want to speak, please speak. So if the same thing has happened last year, we would have been discussing with the gloomy things like raising metal prices, and then power tariff, and a reduction in global uncertainties. But today it's different. So I'll take you to some part of growth journey of the India. And the next part of my speech will be what are the various aspects that's affecting the Foundry today, and also what are the focus points that we need to focus for the future. So let me first take the growth drivers to drive the India story. The India story is dynamic and promising for the coming decade. Well, we move towards 2047, that is 100 years after our independence. The next 7 years is going to be vital. India has fared much better with much resilience despite of global uncertainties and economic crises. With average growth rate of 5.5% over the past decade, India has already become the fastest growing economy in the world. And our current GDP is around $3.5 trillion, and then we are expected to reach around $7 trillion by 2027, and it is expected to reach $10 trillion by 2030. The IMF has pegged our growth rate as 5.9% for this year, and also expected to move at an average rate of 6.1% in terms of GDP. Whereas for this year, the average global growth rate is going to be only 2.3%. So India currently is the 5th largest economy in the world. By 2027, we hope to become the 3rd largest economy in the world. So what is that which we need to, which are the factors that will take us to the 10 trillion economy? So let me go by the factors. First one is the encouraging investments in business. The investments is not only in capital nature, but we need to invest in R&D as well. And the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development in 2022 has forecast India as a preferred destination for foreign direct investments. Government has been extremely proactive in encouraging a healthy ecosystem of effective regulatory practices, sustainable pro-industry schemes and policies. While we must continue to focus on the foreign direct investments, the domestic investments also equally important. India is a complex nation and handholding business is essential. Though while we are growing at 6%, our mercantile exports are still around 1.3% only. So we need to focus more on our agriculture, the supply chain, and the R&D and the distribution system of agriculture. And this is not only important, but also for the growing population to have an equitable economy. This is very important. So next is the state should also participate equally with whatever the central schemes that are there. So they also should be part of the growth journey, and they should also support the industries. And then the sustainability goals. India is committed to become a net zero emission by 2070, and the country is having a renewed focus towards ESG. So the focus on renewable, green economy, electric mobility and green hydrogen are some of the areas which we are focusing in towards the sustainability goals. Next is the impact of the geopolitical scenario. So all of us know the pandemic and followed by the Ukraine war and also the economic recession. So we are constantly affected by the geopolitical impact, but with much resilience, we are faring much better than the other countries. Then diversity and inclusion. India has now overtaken China by the population, and also we are going to add a 97 million workforce in the next 10 years. But one thing is our percentage of women in workforce is only 23% compared to the average, world average is around 47%. And also even in board we are only around 13% board level. So all the industry should focus on participation in the workforce. We are having a lot of women in the workforce from point of entry to the CXO. So these are all the various aspects that will take us to the growth. But other than that also there are other industries like the healthcare, pharma, which is growing at more than 27%, and also the SaaS, that is a software as a service. We are next to US in terms of scale of operations. We have grown 4 times in the last few years, and then our investments are around 6 times. And then with a lot of digitalization in place, we have got close to 61,400 startups by March 22, and India is a third largest in terms of startups. So all the things are positive. So we are in the right path. So this is with respect to the economy and then our growth journey. Now let me focus the challenges and then important aspects of the Foundry. The Indian Foundry is the oldest and largest in the country, contributing to 2.3% of the GDP, and then employing more than 2 million people, and more than 4,500 foundries are there in the country. We are now second largest producer of castings next to China, and our annual production is now touching close to 15 million tons. The industry, as you all know, divided into ferrous and non-ferrous, with 75% catering to ferrous. And then this industry is poised to grow at a CAGR of 10 to 12% in the next 5 years. We are producing high quality casting at lower cost compared to other countries, making it a preferred destination for sourcing of castings. The industry also made significant strides in environmental sustainability by adapting cleaner and greener technologies. We are also adapting as continuous energy improvements, and then our energy consumption compared to 2000 per ton of casting has come down by 25 to 30% now. And then we are focusing on more and more towards not only energy reduction and using a greener and cleaner energy. In terms of customer, the automotive is a major customer to the foundries with 30 to 40%, but followed by agriculture, and then electrics and construction are the other major consumers. But the industry has got its own challenges, the rising commodity prices, and then availability of quality of raw material and quality of sand, and availability of good quality of power. But more than that, one important aspect that I need to highlight is a lack of highly skilled manpower, whether it is pattern making, maintenance of equipments, and in terms of core making, or even in automation. So this is going to be a major challenge, and then we need to focus on how do we develop. We need to put a lot of effort in this phase, because as we grow further, the headcount and manpower is going to be a greater challenge. And also more than that, as we are going to more towards more sophistication and automation, the technicians that is required to maintain the foundry is going to be very important. So we need to partner with education institutions. So some of the foundries are already partnering themselves with the education institutions. So we need to tailor make the programs which is suitable for us, and then we need to sponsor them and then absorb them, so that at least I don't expect them to stay more than for 5 years. At least those 5 years will be a continuous churning, but that will be helpful for us. So this is one of the most important aspects that we need to focus. Now let me take you through some of the focus points. The yield and the rejections. So as I already told, the primary customer for the foundries are automotive, and automotive is ever challenging one in terms of cost pressures, and also as you are going to export more and more, the cost pressures will be severe. So the production engineer foundry has now become involved significantly in terms of addressing the commercial and economic aspects of running a foundry. So focus on yield and focus on rejections is going to be the key to maintain the bottom line. Automation is not only for improving the productivity and also for the safety, because the foundry process is in a hazardous environment, and then more automation we do is useful for not only for, it will be for smooth operations. It can be a robotic application, linear guided system, and variety of metal handling and finishing system. The next most important place where you need to automate is the finishing. So the buyer in any organization will not know the foundry number, phone number. He has maximum he follows up only with the finishing person. So even in my days in when I follow it up, I'll always have the finishing person number because he is the one who is going to deliver the castings. So the finishing department is one of the most challenging areas in today modern foundry. Here hundreds of parts are conveyed and it's very odd environment, grinding of party lines, cutting of rices and decoring whatnot. And then it not only is a laborious task but it's also unsafe task. So our focus on automation is very, very critical. Though many exhibitions, they display a lot of automation for finishing, but I have not seen significant strides in automation with respect to this area. But it requires patience, and then we need to work constantly with the machine tool manufacturer because the part-to-part variation will be more. And then we attempted for the ductile hand casting to some extent wherever it's a flat part press trimming, that has worked really well. But other than that, the finishing is still more manual intensive. So here is one area where we should work with the machine tool manufacturers of finishing lines. Next important aspect is TPM. TPM, let's not take it in, it has to be taken in word and spirit, in the sense that foundry is a continuous process industry. Here the churning out of the manpower is very high, and also the process controls and cleanliness of equipment is important. So the autonomous maintenance and preventive maintenance are very important areas. But in a foundry of mega size, we don't have maintenance technicians. So the autonomous maintenance is an important aspect where the cleaning, lubrication, inspection and retightening practices, if it is followed in right and spirit, and then the predictive and preventive maintenance are followed as per the schedule, definitely the uptime of the foundry will be 10 to 15% more than a foundry which is not following TPM. But having said that, it requires top management commitment and then it requires perseverance. So always we see a 3-year graph of TPM going up, and then there is a slackness in the sense that people turn around and then new people come, and then it is very difficult to sustain it. So TPM is an important aspect for the foundries. Next comes Foundry 4.0. People would have talked about Industry 4.0. Foundry 4.0 is not far away. And this 4.0 is not only in terms of using robotics, it also in terms of using artificial intelligence and data and process automation. Let's not worry too much about these buzzwords. We need to take simple, try to connect your machines with sensors, and then try to take a real-time data. And then, for example, we do what we do preventive maintenance. We define the life of each of the machine elements into particular frequency, and at a particular frequency, we try to change the part. With digitally connected, you get every millisecond, the sensor gives either it's a temperature or a pressure, you get a data. And then using the data, if you develop a model that will clearly predict when that equipment, when that element is going to fail, and then you can do it when it is required rather than going by the frequency. That not only reduces the maintenance cost but also improves the uptime, because the time-based maintenance is okay, but the predictive maintenance using artificial intelligence is going to be the order of the day. Next is usage of AI. It is not only on the maintenance aspect, it's also on addressing the rejections. Any engineer can at best use 2 parameters, 3 parameters he can work on when you have rejections. But you all know that we have a lot of interrelating parameters, more than 40, 50 in nature. So that cannot be done using a conventional PDCA approach or statistical tools. That requires artificial intelligence with the collection of so much data in terms of all the processes. We can do a modeling, and then we can easily optimize the process parameters, which will minimize, which will make towards the zero defect. And finally, the important aspect all the foundry is now focusing is sustainability. We all recognize that environmentally responsible and improving the bottom line are not mutually exclusive. It's all interrelated. So foundries are focusing towards greener and cleaner practices, and then now the order winning criteria itself has become going towards sustainability. So the sustainability has got many steps. First, you need to have the management system and metrics to measure what is that we consume, and then address the improvement points and then focus it. It involves measurement of air emissions, water use and discharge, materials and resource consumption, waste management and beneficial reuse. So reduce, reuse and recycle is going to be the order of the day to address the sustainability. So in conclusion, the Foundry is a critical contributor to the country's economy, providing employment to millions of people, and then we are continuously focusing towards modernization and innovation, and along with the government support, we are enabled completely, we are growing towards global. To conclude, the country is in the growth path, and let us be part of the journey and reach the right destination. With this, I once again thank you for giving the opportunity. Thank you very much.
National growth and foundry industry, sir. It was very, very insightful. Now, we would like to request our guest of honor, Mr. D.S. Chandrasekhar, President-elect IAF, to felicitate our chief guest for the evening with our traditional Angavastram. We now request IAF past President, Mr. Sanjay Shroff, to felicitate Mr. Sridharan with a memento.